Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to take loads of information, pull out the absolute essentials, and bring them straight to you. And today, well, this deep dive is specifically for you. We know you're a non-traditional student, maybe just starting out with Gen 101, developing skills and strategies for success with Professor Bond.
That's right. And you're likely juggling a lot, maybe work, family, all sorts of things.
Exactly. So our mission today is to help you cut through the noise of your week 2 readings. We want to give you those key takeaways so you don't just, get them, but you can actually use them to succeed.
And these readings, they're more than just assignments. They really lay the groundwork for Professor Bond's course and honestly for your whole college experience.
So we're going to unpack some practical strategies, how to thrive academically, but also personally.
Yeah, turning that info into things you can actually do.
Okay, so what are we covering? We've got 4 main areas from your readings. First up, how to actually enjoy college, even if it's online.
Which is a big one for non-traditional students, right?
Definitely. Second, essential strategies for learning, really getting a handle on your coursework. Third, note-taking techniques. The effective kind.
The ones that stick.
And finally, we'll look at personal growth and social support, these 2 really powerful ideas that are totally connected. All right, let's jump right in with enjoying the journey. Because college, it's supposed to be more than just hitting the books, right? It's an adventure, meeting people, finding opportunities.
It absolutely is.
But if you're balancing all those other commitments, maybe studying online, how do you even find the enjoyment?
That's a really key question.
Yeah.
And the readings emphasize that this enjoyment aspect, it applies just as much to you. What's interesting is many of your online classmates, they're probably in the same boat, juggling similar things.
So that shared experience can be a starting point.
Exactly. It creates this potential for connection. You can figure out solutions together, build a support system, and online learning itself, maybe surprisingly, offers real chances for meaningful relationships with professors, with other students.
How so? Like beyond just submitting assignments.
Well, think about online discussion forums.
Yeah.
You actually get time to think, to craft your responses. It could be, a more level playing field for different personalities. Introverts, extroverts, everyone gets a chance to contribute thoughtfully.
That makes sense. You're not just reacting on the spot.
Right. And that thoughtfulness, it can lead to really supportive networks. You see it in discussion threads where people help each other out, or maybe they set up virtual study groups, or just send quick emails for support.
And those skills you build, communicating online, being assertive but cooperative, they're useful everywhere, right? Work, personal life.
Hugely transferable. Plus, don't forget virtual clubs and meetups. A lot of online universities offer these now. You can often join in whenever fits your schedule, asynchronously.
Attending a club meeting from your living room.
Exactly. You're part of this, global community. Definitely check out what student services your university offers online.
Okay, so connection is possible online. What are the big benefits, according to the readings?
Well, first, you can form genuinely deep relationships. Even shorter connections can be super helpful. Maybe a peer becomes a business contact down the road, or Professor Bond points you towards a career path you hadn't considered. It builds interdependence.
Okay, relationships. What else?
Good study habits.
Yeah.
It actually helps you balance things. You can combine studying and socializing, join a peer study group, for instance.
Right, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, kind of.
Sort of, yeah. And crucially, it helps minimize stress. Sharing those burdens, knowing others understand what you're going through, that can make a huge difference.
I can see that. Less isolation.
Definitely. And finally, it helps you develop social skills. Just observing how others interact positively in forums, for example, can teach you new approaches for handling social situations later on, maybe in your career.
And speaking of connecting with different people, the readings also talk a lot about diversity and inclusion.
Really important concepts. Diversity just means all the ways people can differ: race, culture, age, background, abilities, viewpoints, you name it.
And why is encountering that diversity so valuable in college?
Because it literally expands how you see the world. Exposure to different ideas, different perspectives. It makes you think more openly, more globally. You get comfortable with difference. And it helps you see that complex issues aren't simple. They have layers.
So it actually boosts critical thinking.
And creative thinking, yeah. And inclusion is the action part. It's about actively bringing in people who might otherwise be left out. Not just making them fit in, but changing the picture of the group itself.
Changing the picture, I like that.
It means learning from others, interacting respectfully, and also letting others get to know you. Because remember, to someone else, You might be the other.
That's a great point. It's a two-way street.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The analogy they use is like having a big box of 64 crayons instead of just one pencil. You can create a much richer, more vibrant picture. Diversity and inclusion aren't just nice to haves. They fundamentally enrich your learning.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Part 2, mastering learning and coursework strategies. College learning often feels different from high school, doesn't it?
It really does. The readings introduce 3 really critical tools here: reflection, self-regulation, and metacognition.
Okay, break those down for us. Reflection.
Reflection is basically just pausing, thinking seriously about what you're learning or doing to understand it better. Maybe you stop and really mull over a confusing part of the textbook, or you learn from someone else's success, like asking Professor Bond how they studied effectively.
Got it. And self-regulation.
That's about managing yourself, your emotions, your thoughts, your actions. It involves planning ahead, monitoring how you're doing, and reflecting on that to get better results.
So like checking in with yourself constantly.
Pretty much asking, how am I doing on a regular basis? Are you checking your grades, looking ahead at deadlines, planning study time around, say, your work schedule or family events?
And then using that info to make changes.
Exactly. Yeah. Making necessary adjustments, being willing to switch up how you study or read or write if it's not working. Use your grades, yes, but especially use the feedback you get from Professor Bond. That's gold.
Don't be afraid to ask for help or clarification either.
Absolutely. And adjustments might be concrete things. Maybe you need to arrange for fewer work hours temporarily, or shift your study time from late night to early morning if you're too tired.
Okay, that brings us to the third one, metacognition. Sounds a bit academic.
It sounds fancy, but it's actually super practical. It's just thinking about your thinking, being aware of how you learn, and assessing your own process.
Why is that so important?
Because it's how you figure out what you don't know, and then how you decide what to do about it.
Okay, give me an example.
All right, say you're reading a chapter for Professor Bond's class, and you realize, wow, I did not understand that last paragraph at all. That realization, that's metacognition starting. Then deciding what to do, like, okay, I'll highlight the key terms, or maybe I should try summarizing this in my own words, or I need to ask about this in the discussion forum. That's metacognition in action.
Ah, okay, so it's the awareness and the action plan.
Precisely. John Flavel, who researched this, talked about 3 parts. Planning before you start, what do I need to learn here? Tracking, while you're learning, how's this going? Am I getting it? And assessing afterwards, okay, how well did I really understand that? What did I miss? It's about actively managing your own learning journey.
That feels like a real skill to develop.
It is, and it pays off hugely. Now, alongside these thinking strategies, the readings talk about the practical stuff, like preparing to learn effectively. #1 challenge.
Distractions, technology.
You got it. Treat your study time like a serious appointment. Set specific, short blocks, maybe just 30 or 45 minutes, where you are absolutely focused. Phone out of sight, notifications off, TV off. Find a quiet spot.
That might mean negotiating with family or roommates.
It might. Communication is key.
And
create a dedicated learning space if you can. Somewhere comfortable, with good light, a flat surface. Make it a place you actually want to sit down and learn.
good environment, fewer distractions. Makes sense. The readings also bust some myths, right?
They do. Myth #1, multitasking while learning. Your brain can't actually do 2 complex things at once effectively. It just switches back and forth really fast, and you end up doing both things poorly.
So focus on one thing at a time. What's myth 2?
That just highlighting the main points is enough. Highlighting can be a first step, maybe. But real learning comes from engaging, more actively reviewing, trying to recall the information without looking, quizzing yourself.
So highlighting isn't bad, just insufficient on its own.
Exactly. And related to that, when you do highlight, less is often more. Don't just color the whole page yellow. Be selective.
Okay. And myth 3.
That learning effectively should be effortless. It just
isn't.
It takes time, concentration, sometimes real effort, maybe even a bit of drudgery. Like an athlete, training, the results look smooth, but the practice takes work.
Right. Consistent effort is key. Okay. That flows nicely into our next section. Strategic coursework and feedback. Applying all this learning theory to actual assignments.
Yes. First step, really understand the task. Read the instructions from Professor Bond very carefully. Look for those action words, as it say analyze or summarize. They mean different things.
And understand the purpose of the assignment. Why are you doing this?
Precisely. And always look at the grading rubric. It tells you exactly what's expected. Maybe even make yourself a little checklist or an expectation chart with length, sources needed, due date, format.
And if anything's unclear,
ask. Don't guess. Ask
Ah.
Professor Bond for clarification.
Okay, you understand the task. Now you need ideas. Brainstorming time. The readings had some cool techniques.
Yeah, several good ones. There's the free writer, just write nonstop about the topic for, say, 10 minutes. Don't worry about grammar or spelling, just get thoughts down on paper.
Get the juices flowing.
Exactly. Or the mind mapper, which is great if you're visual. You start with the main topic in the center and draw branches out for subtopics, ideas, examples. See the connections visually.
I like visual stuff. What else?
For those who think better talking it out, there's the talker. Use the voice to text on your phone, just talk through your ideas, then look at the transcript.
Oh, that's clever. Use the tech.
Right. And finally, the Googling Wikier. Start broad with Google or YouTube just to get interested, get some background. Then maybe hop over to Wikipedia, not necessarily as a final source, but to get basic facts. And, importantly, look at its references for more credible places to dig deeper.
Okay, so you've got ideas, you've done the work. Now comes feedback. This can be tough.
It can feel tough, yeah. The key perspective shift is feedback is about your work. It's not about you personally. Your reading suggests using something called the ABCD choice process.
ABCD.
Aware, breathe, calm, decide. Be aware of your reaction. Breathe to manage any stress. Get calm and curious. Then decide how to use the feedback constructively. It's about adopting a learner mindset.
That sounds helpful. Manage the emotion first.
Right. And remember, resources like tutors. Most colleges offer tutoring, often free. They don't do the work for you, but they help you figure it out. Go prepared. Be open. Ask questions.
And feedback from Professor Bond.
Invaluable.
Yeah.
Sometimes instructor comments are brief. They might assume you understand jargon. So again, if you're unsure what a comment means, ask for clarification or an example.
What about peer review? Getting feedback from classmates.
Also useful, it's collaborative. Try not to get defensive. Notice where different reviewers agree. But also, be discerning if something seems off or contradicts the instructions. Double check with Professor Bond. Ultimately, it's your paper, but seeing it through others' eyes is really helpful.
And once you have all this feedback, revision.
Yeah, and give yourself time for revision. It's not just fixing typos. It might mean rethinking your main argument, reorganizing paragraphs, finding better evidence, the deeper process.
Got it. The readings also touched on presentations.
Briefly, yeah. Basically, try to make them engaging. Think beyond basic slides if appropriate, maybe Prezi, video, check what formats are allowed, stick to time limits, keep the design clean and simple, and focus on the viewer. Clear explanations, relevant visuals, good grammar. Don't just cram text onto slides.
Okay, part 4. Let's talk note-taking. Seems basic, but maybe it's not.
It's definitely a skill and often underestimated. Good notes do several things. Organize ideas, help you remember stuff, prepare you for class discussions, and get you ready for exams.
So why you're taking notes matters.
It does. And having a system helps, whether it's a binder, specific notebooks, or well-named digital files. Be consistent, but also flexible. You might need a different method for, say, a math class versus a history class.
What methods did the readings highlight?
Several good ones. The Cornell method is really popular. You divide your page, big section on the right for notes during the lecture or reading, a smaller column on the left for questions or keywords you add later, and a summary section at the bottom.
And the key is adding those questions in the summary later.
Yes, within about 24 hours. Then you can cover the main notes and use the keywords or questions to quiz yourself. That active recall really boosts memory.
Smart. What else?
Good old outlining. Using indents and numbering Roman numerals, letters, numbers to show the structure, main ideas, supporting points. Great for linear information.
And for visual learners.
Concept mapping. Drawing circles or boxes for ideas and connecting them with lines to show relationships. And get this, the readings say even simple sketching or doodling related images alongside your notes can significantly improve recall, even if you think you can't draw.
Interesting. So visual notes work.
They do for many people. Whichever method you use, developing some kind of shorthand is helpful for speed. Abbreviations, symbols like WA for with, and for and, BC for because.
Even texting language can work if it makes sense to you.
Then, after you take the initial notes.
You need to annotate them later. This could be highlighting or underlining key points. But remember, less is more. Don't highlight everything. Read first, then select.
Or adding notes in the margins.
Exactly. Writing questions, defining terms you looked up, circling things. These annotations show how your understanding is evolving. You can do this digitally too. Most note-taking apps allow it. Just keep it neat enough to be useful later.
What about things like graphs or charts in textbooks?
Great question. Definitely take notes on those too. Ask yourself, what's the main point? Who is this for? What does the legend show? Read the caption and source info. Don't just skip over the visual.
Okay, this all sounds great, but the most important part is actually using your notes, returning to them. There's something called the Ebbinghaus forgetting curve. Basically, if you don't review your notes actively, you forget a huge chunk, like maybe 60% within just a couple of days.
Wow. All that effort wasted.
Right. So the fix is simple but crucial. Review your notes within 24 hours. Set a reminder. Make it a habit, like practicing scales on an instrument. It builds that mental muscle memory.
Okay, review within 24 hours. Got it. All right, we've covered a lot of academic strategies, but this final part, part 5, feels really central to your course, developing skills and strategies for success. It's about personal growth and social support.
Absolutely. Because success in college and frankly in life isn't just about study skills. It's deeply connected to your own development as a person and the network you have around you.
So what exactly is personal growth?
It's this lifelong journey of understanding yourself better and actively working to reach your full potential. Think positive changes mentally, physically, maybe even spiritually. It's not just about learning things, it's about applying them so they become part of who you are.
Making it stick.
Right. Some thinkers, like Maslow, saw it as the highest level of human need, self-actualization.
Why push for that when you're already swamped with coursework in life?
Because the benefits are huge. It leads to more happiness, better resilience when things get tough, more success in your career, better well-being overall. It helps you spot negative habits or mistakes and actually change them.
And successful people prioritize this.
They really do. They don't find time for personal growth. They consciously make time for it because they know how important it is.
Okay, so how does someone, especially a busy, non-traditional student, get started?
Well, there's no single recipe. It's personal. But it often starts with self-reflection. What are my strengths, weaknesses? What needs to change? Where do I want to be? Then find resources.
Like what?
Books, articles, podcasts like this one, maybe seminars or workshops if you have time. Even things like visualization or meditation. Sometimes counseling or coaching can be really helpful.
The readings mention turning dead time into learning time.
Yeah, that's a great practical tip. Listen to audiobooks or educational podcasts during your commute while doing chores, exercising. Squeeze learning into the gaps.
What about pushing yourself?
Definitely.
Oh.
Step outside your comfort zone. Doesn't have to be huge. Try a new type of assignment. Strike up a conversation in the online forum. Try one healthy new recipe. Small challenges build confidence and new habits.
Meeting new people helps too.
Immensely. New connections bring new perspectives, improve your communication skills, and professional help tutors, mentors can be shortcuts. Learn from their experience and mistakes.
Any other practical steps?
Keep a journal focused on your growth. Find a mentor, someone whose path you admire. Maybe create a specific morning routine that includes some reflection or learning. Get an accountability partner.
Okay, that's personal growth. What about the social support network?
Equally vital. You know that idea of the self-made person? Largely a myth, according to the readings and, well, reality. Think of Arnold Schwarzenegger crediting his mentors. Big goals almost always require help. Your social support network is that group, family, friends, classmates, mentors who offer guidance, resources, feedback, just support.
It's not just for crises then.
No, it's different from a support group for a specific problem. This is your ongoing network. And support comes in different flavors. Emotional support, empathy, trust, caring, maybe from a spouse or close friend. Instrumental support, tangible help, like someone watching the kids so you could study or lending you notes. Informational support advice, suggestions, maybe from Professor Bond or a mentor. And appraisal support, constructive feedback, help with self-evaluation, maybe from a peer or boss.
How do you build or strengthen that network?
Tell people your goals. It creates accountability. Actively seek out people who share your drive or interest, online groups, maybe local meetups. There's that saying, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
So choose your circle wisely.
Exactly. And give support too. It's reciprocal. Mentors are especially valuable. Learn from their journey.
And sometimes you need to adjust the network.
Yes, if you're constantly surrounded by negativity, or if your goals change and your current network isn't aligned anymore, it might be time to make some shifts. It should be a positive, evolving relationship.
Wow, okay. We've covered a ton. So wrapping this up for you, our listener in Professor Bond's Gen 101 course, it seems crystal clear that college success, especially as a non-traditional student, is about the whole picture.
Absolutely. It's the social connections, even online. It's that self-awareness from reflection and metacognition. It's using smart learning and note-taking strategies. And it's building and leaning on that support network while also focusing on your own growth.
These aren't just things to check off for a grade. They're genuinely life skills.
They really are. And for you, juggling everything, applying these things, making those online interactions count, really figuring out how you learn best, finding your note-taking groove, consciously building that support system that's the path not just to getting through, but to actually thriving.
Making the knowledge part of who you become.
That's the goal. Applied knowledge.
So, as you head into week 2, here's something for you to chew on. How are you going to consciously engage with someone different from you this week, maybe in an online discussion, to broaden your perspective and pick just one new learning strategy we talked about, maybe Cornell notes, maybe trying free writing, and commit to giving it a real try this week?
Small steps. The journey's ongoing, and every deliberate step you take makes you stronger.
A stronger student and a more capable person overall. Thanks for tuning in to The Deep Dive.